Hello,
Yep.
everybody! Welcome to Fable 42. My name is Anne. I am the DM for this evening. This is a homebrew, horror-themed 5e campaign. Horror turned more adventure towards the end here, but that's okay. Maybe there's some horror that'll still appear. But wow, we're right at the end of our story. We're at the home stretch. The team right now has just got info dumped. So much lore. If some of the things are throwing you off, definitely go back to our last episode, the last like 10 minutes or so, and you'll get a lot of information about their journey, what they have to do, and some new mysteries about Calamity as well. So while everyone's kind of relaxing here in the library after defeating what appeared to be a monster, turned out to be a cursed item, like kind of humanoid body part rubber band ball of a creature.
A people
um,
ball.
a people ball. They found themselves here, in the company of a kind of outer dimension unicorn friend, who's now part of the campaign. But they're here. They got a couple of questions answered about the turrets and the world and what to look for and how to get to their next destination. But they also uncovered a little bit of mystery about Calamity and maybe the source of not only Calamity's power, but um, kind of what's hidden beneath. Even our newest friend here, Kalzarath, got a little bit of a glimpse of the creature hiding inside. Of course, Kalzarath has kept this information to themselves so far. But we are here, and as soon as everyone starts to sit down for the evening and camp out, everyone gets a short rest, by the way, so far. Another creature enters the chat, which happens to be the king of the Dark Elves and the ruler of this tower and of a royal family. He steps in through a portal right in front of the library and faces everyone, with one of the owl companions kind of cutely perched on his shoulder. Um, and I think there's only a couple people kind of in the projection area where they could see him, because he did enter pretty quietly. But for anyone who was looking, he is a dark elf. He has really long black hair, kind of sleeked back, all the way to kind of the low of his back. And it's all straight. There's a couple of braided areas with some looks to be like sapphires kind of inlaid into the braided parts of his hair. Um, he has almost icy blue gray eyes, but the iris anyway, but everything around his eye is black. So when he does look at you, it is quite haunting. And in the dark area where he seems to stand, his eyes almost reflect like a creature in the night. His ears are really long, longer than longer than usual, and kind of flat. Not wearing any jewelry or anything. He seems to be dressed as if he just got out of bed. um, he did just get out of bed, even though he's wearing kind of a suit. um, but didn't really accessorize too much, and he is
That's
wearing.
my sleeping suit.
It's a sleeping suit, exactly. He's wearing a really beautiful, intricate, kind of black and
Snuggie.
purple robe, and he is wearing like slides, I guess. So he is dressed pretty comfortably. Doesn't seem to be standing intimidate like in any sort of intimidating pose, but it does look like he not only expected you all to be here, but is not, well, just in general, just not surprised by your presence. He does take a few steps closer towards you, Calamity, as he goes more into the candlelight, and doesn't say much. But Calamity, what are you thinking when this happens?
Calamity is frozen still, kind of trembling out of fear because he's heard many, many, many stories about this family and about this king, and he knows how we're not supposed to be here, and there's like a thousand things are running through his rabid mind, and he's like. He's kind of scared to move because he's like, oh, we're fucked. We're totally fucked. We're all fucked.
Do I get a sense of him freaking out?
I don't know, Calamity. Are you outwardly like that, or are you internally?
Yeah, you see him like if you were to like kind of like to glance down, you'll see him like eyes staring at this guy, just kind of trembling, shaking, unmoving.
Sweaty.
I'm sweating. My fur's wet. Yeah, and his ears are down.
I would say that more than anything is what clues Avaran into your state of mind, is because you're typically only have your ears down if you're scared of something. And so I kind of step in between the king and Calamity with one hand kind of back behind me on Calamity's shoulder. And I just say to the king, "Hello there."
Hello there. And he takes a few steps closer, and you do notice he stands pretty tall. He's about 6'4". Um, and he kind of like folds his fingers together and he tries to reassure you. I'm not here to harm you.
All right. Well, we're here in your domain. If you're not here to harm us, why are you here?
I'm here because for the last few hundred years or so, I'm tired of people not prioritizing magic or knowledge. You guys are my only hope, and have been for quite some time. And he kind of takes further steps forward. The owl seems to be saying something, but it comes out in hoots for those who don't know how to speak with animals. And he does go reach over and almost like asking permission to kind of reach closer to you. Do you let him reach for the projector? Or the globe?
Oh, like he wants to show us something? I think I would instinctively kind of reach my hand out to stop him, but I'll pull it back and kind of give him a nod.
Okay, let me roll for that real quick. Okay. Cool. And he does a couple of things. Like he taps certain areas of the cube, and he does spin the globe in a very specific way. And he does project what looks to be the map that you guys saw in the very beginning of this place, but he switches it to the green section of the map. Is it green? Sorry, I might have that wrong. My ass. The blue section. And you do notice there are a ton of guards. It looks like the whole spire is filled with guards. And different armies. There's the demon army. And then he does point at one of the people kind of exploring somewhere in the center of the tower. You guys just passed it. And it looks to be Saphira. And he says, and he kind of lets it go and indicates, well, he says, cannot do the voice, I'm sorry, you guys, in chat. But he says that he's been basically hiding your presence at the spire. Like everyone, since you've entered, like there's people all over who are notified of someone entering the spire, and so they assumed it was you and are searching everywhere for you guys. But he has put you in a different portion of the map where you can't be seen. And instead, so you all are, when you entered kind of the red version of the map, which seems to be kind of a basic version, but that's not actually the reality that you stand in. And he says that, and says, he's been hiding you guys. I'm hiding you because I've done research on how this world would end, or how this world would change. And as much knowledge as I possess, I don't have the magic or the touch of each god as you have. And so he kind of releases his hand and the projection dies down, and it's just a dark room again. So we've been waiting for your arrival for quite some time, and any support you need from us, you have. And he leans over. Diggy, where are you?
I'm with Citri and Chanel, and I believe Citri, was it Chanel or Citri was like just dead tired?
Yeah, Chanel's passed out. Citri's probably close. Okay. Never mind then. But yeah, that's what he says.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, you're one of the families that's been in control of everything for hundreds and hundreds of years. And you're telling me all of a sudden you just want us to disrupt it all? To set everything back to the way it was? You want that?
I do. My role in this war was never me or my family's choice. My role for the last 150 years has been nothing to protect my family because of the war that you all started 100 years ago. Since then, I've awaited for you. I've looked into the prophets. I've even prayed. And I'm more sure of it now more than ever. And you all are the ones that are going to turn this world around.
All right. Assuming I believe that. Earlier, that whatever you want to call it, the archive, the oracle, it showed us that there was a way out of here on an upper floor, some sort of portal that would take us exactly to where we needed to go to find the next turret that we have to destroy. Is it on the same version of reality that we're on now, or do we have to go to that blue one you just showed us?
This magic's only locked to this tower. The moment you leave this tower, this magic goes away. And
Alright.
no need to search for it, you can have mine. And he pulls from his finger a ring. And on the ring, it looks like the family emblem on the front of it. It's made out of solid gold. It does look like there's a contraption that opens the ring up. And so he does open it up and exposes what appears to be a really small ruby, which is the source of the magic. And he closes it again and hands it to you, Avaran. There's no need to attune for it. Just think of where you need to go and it'll take you there. But be careful, because thoughts can stray. And the moment you need to step through the portal, you have to have the clearest image in your head of where you're going, otherwise you don't know where you're going to end up. It's not always good.
All right.
You said that we were waiting for you? Who is we?
Me and my whole family. The rest of the world that's been shackled to the way things are. I've been a prisoner in this world for as long as I remember, since I was a boy. And although maybe my parents had the ideals, the same ideals that won the war way back then, I don't. I just want my family to be happy and safe, and have the ability to leave this city one day. This is all they've ever known. But there's a bigger world out there, a world I don't really like.
You, one of the families in power, can't leave your own kingdom?
No, not safely.
I don't understand.
There are more powerful families out there. I don't have the power they do. I can't fight out of situations. I have magic, sure, but at this point, most of those families have magics that are beyond mine. If I were to rebel against them, I would lose control of this library, this magic. And this is the only thing that's left of a world that once was.
I look over at the ring that Avaran is holding, and I look at the globe and kind of like the wide screen and everything of what he's showing us, like in other realities of this fortress, that people are looking for us, and how we're safe because we're in a different kind of like reality within the tower. I'm gonna look back at the king. How much time do we have before it's dangerous for us to stay here?
Well, it looks like they have a couple of alchemists that are working on the building now. They definitely know you're here. But in order to access this library at all, you do need this key. He points to the cube. I say you have some time, but don't stay here too long.
Do we have time to rest?
You do.
All right. I'm gonna walk straight to the cube and put my hand on it or whatever I need to do to use it, and I'm gonna ask, can you show us where the final turret where the next turret is.
And it zooms in, and it actually shows you really similar images in your head that you saw in your vision. Excuse me, Beerus. And it pulls up what looks to be a cemetery. In the center, kind of the centerpiece of this cemetery, is a statue of what looks to be a winged elf of some kind in like beautiful armor and long robes, and is holding a staff forward. And it zooms in on that statue.
All right.
Do we recognize this statue or icon or anything? Does any of this kind of like ring a bell?
What do you roll for that? Roll an Arcana check.
Can you
I don't
believe
know if that's the right check for that.
Well, history or religion, but history.
Snyder, could you please roll for me? I don't have my dice in front of me, if you can believe that.
I will roll for you. I have
You
rolled...
could use the fake ones online.
Wait,
I
you
have
said Arcana
rolled
or
badly.
history?
Arcana, I think.
Oh, okay.
Magic gauging.
Okay. I rolled a 17.
Oh shit.
GW, I rolled a 3, so whatever your modifier is on top of that.
A solid 4.
Eh.
Wow.
How about you, Eric?
Oh, am I rolling it too?
Oh, you don't have to if you don't want to. I was just wondering.
I was, I could roll something if you'd like, but it's terrible. It's a 3. Because I got a 1.
So it looks like Kalsarath is the only one who can gauge this.
Good
Which is
job,
funny.
Kalsarath.
Kalsarath definitely wasn't there when you guys saw that statue, like on your journey over to the city. That you did when you took it out. Notice that it kind of harnessed the power of like a creature that was kind of imprisoned in stone like that. It's very much a similar vibe. So Kalsarath, you know that there seems to be an entity or a creature that has volunteered to stand guard of this part of the area. And you rolled a 17, that's pretty good. So you know that it is a living creature that's posing as a statue. But as far as where the turret is, I mean, it just shows you the picture. It doesn't really say what.
Is there a tip bucket at his feet?
No.
No.
Is this Pier 39?
Starts doing the robot.
Somebody come get her.
DM, is this a statue? Did you say that this statue was in the graveyard of this city?
It's in a cemetery in the islands area. So different.
Oh wait,
part of
is
the
that where
world.
we got our Tabaxi crew?
No.
That's where they came from, but you found them on a separate island up north.
Okay, gotcha.
The islands are where like the major like human family
Yeah.
live that oversee
Yeah.
all the like trade and shipping.
Yeah, arguably the most evil of everyone.
Awesome.
Go figure. Well, after us getting all that information, I'm gonna look to the king, and I'm going to say, Your Highness, what's your name? Just going through the notebook, alright. Good save, good save.
DM loading.
Big Chad.
Ruling families.
Stop it, Eric. Put your hand down.
Little spinning wheel over Anne's face.
Adrian Tirick.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
King Adrian Tirick. Okay. What are you? If they know that we're here, are you gonna get in trouble?
I think they do know that I'm the culprit already. But don't worry, my family's safe.
Are you safe?
I have, on my own home turf, I think I have a handle on how to get around. It'll be hard for them to find me.
Okay, good. Good.
So at that, he does look to wave his hand over, and a table, like a long wooden table, materializes before you, and he casts Hero's Feast.
Oh. Should we like sleep
Oh,
before
no.
we eat, or how does this work? Will it just stay with us? DM rules. Okay, it'll stay with us. Okay.
DM rules, so like you can chow down till after a full rest, and it'll still take effect.
Sweet. So like, what do we see on this platter? Like, what do we see?
We got fresh ham, so like the whole pig with an apple in its mouth type Hawaiian style. You've got also different slabs of steak and meat on either side. There's some slow cooked brisket, a bunch of different, just a bowl of different potatoes. All of them nice and steamed and soft, different types of butters, different flavored butters and jams. There's also just a flurry of vegetables, most of them roasted though, slow roasted, caramelized.
Slow roasted and caramelized perfectly.
Yes, and then there's a couple of pies, a couple of cakes, layered cheesecakes, that kind of thing.
DM, are there to-go boxes here just for like if we have, just if we have leftovers?
G-Dub will always try to get a little extra out of this deal. I love it.
It's so true. You
I
can
opened
find
my
some.
bag of holding and I sweep the entire table into it.
And you do notice on the table too, there's a couple of vials, and those are potions. Superior potion.
Oh.
Not just your average everyday potion.
Not just our average every day. Wow.
I thought Superior was only like 2d4.
Oh my god, you guys.
It's 8d4.
Oh my god.
I thought
Eric, do you
Supreme
even
was...
play this game?
No.
Supreme was the one that was like 8d4, I thought.
No, Supreme is 10d4.
Oh, well there you go.
Yeah, because I got 2 of those sitting in my bag.
Oh, nice.
Just waiting.
Willow, no growling.
But I said that out of character, so you don't know that. Them's my potions.
So he lays it all out, and then he kind of nods towards you, and he says he'll check in on you guys in a few hours, or if things get tough, he'll come and send some sort of warning. But until then, he does kind of take his leave, and the little owl that was perched on the shoulder actually goes with him.
Okay. Then I'm gonna bring the chaos beast with me and try to figure out what it eats.
What does it? It probably eats the steak, right?
Okay, good. So it's not a herbivore. That's gonna make it so much easier to feed in the hells.
By the way, did you see that unicorn movie coming out?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, the one with Paul Rudd, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Like that, unicorn.
Yeah. So I'm also still spending time trying to figure out a name, or figure out what it would like to be called.
Fluffy.
Fine, I try Fluffy. Does it react?
Oh, and as soon as he does take his leave, there are just a couple of minutes go by, but someone else is going to enter through the portal. And it looks to be a gnome of some kind, just a normal like forest gnome. He's wearing a pretty simple like leather outfit, but he is wearing what looks to be a sash with the family emblem on it. And he walks up to Avaran, and he can't speak, and he almost like opens his mouth like he tries to, but you do notice his tongue has been cut out.
Oh, nice.
And he hands you what looks to be a short staff of some kind, and it looks to be made of wood, and there is a diamond at the end of it, and he hands it to you, and then nods kind of awkwardly, and looks around and looks at the giant unicorn and kind of like is taken aback, but then shuffles away and into the portal and leaves.
What is this short little staff with the diamond in it? look like? Are there any runes or carvings?
It's pretty simple. It looks like the wood grew around this diamond and someone broke it off.
Um, I'm as perplexed as Avran would be, so I guess I'm gonna have him do what I would do in that situation, which is just kind of point it at no one and nothing, and just kind of flick it, see if it does anything.
Oh my god, let me roll for that.
The wall disappears.
It rolled. Ah, damn! It rolled like a 2, so nothing happens.
Man, I wish I knew what a 20 would have done. All right. I'm gonna try to take a closer look at the diamond, see if there's anything remarkable about it.
And as you're investigating it, you do notice a couple of voices behind you, and they seem to be a woman's voice and like a kind of a teenager's voice talking to each other. And it looks like they're talking about the dinner. You see that steak? What is that? Is that a pig? I wonder where he comes from. Does he live here? I don't know, honey. Should I ask him? He can't understand us, Boo. What if he can't understand us? That one guy understood us. We can ask him. No.
And do I see owls behind me?
You do.
And I toss the stick to Kalzrath. See, try this out. See if it does the same thing for you.
Okay.
And actually, Kalzrath doesn't hear anything.
Is something supposed to happen?
Toss it back.
I toss it.
And I'm guessing, do I hear them again?
Yeah, they're just talking. Now they're kind of curious what you're tossing around.
So I turn back to them and say, are you hungry? Would you like to eat some of our food here?
Mom, I think he's talking to us. I told you. Shh, honey. And they're just staring at you.
Right, yes, I'm talking to you. Are you hungry?
And at that, the younger owl flies down and kind of takes a look at some of the veggies and some of the meats. And he's just investigating. He starts to peck at a few things. At the brisket. Whereas the older bird stays quiet and kind of is taken aback.
So I'm gonna sense this like distrust and take like the nearest piece of food and just take a bite myself. Do I see any?
I'm not hungry, dear. Thank you.
All right. And then I'm gonna continue to eat because I have 2 levels of exhaustion, so I definitely need the benefit of this meal.
Yes.
Well, in that case, time to eat.
Nice.
Oh, I should have asked him where the armory is.
Right. You still have the orb there, the cube.
Yep. I'm gonna go over to the cube and ask where's the armory and what. Go ask where's the armory first.
And it pulls up the map of the tower and points to a room, but it's kind of towards the bottom of the spire, actually.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going all the way down there.
But it also points to a couple of weapons that are in the library. It looks like it points out a couple of relic swords and a battle axe that are in like glass cases, kind of in different places in the library.
Okay, I'm gonna break off a both turkey legs. Have one for myself and one for Bobby. Does follow Bobby? Does follow the name Bobby? Nope.
Bobby the unicorn. I love it.
I'm just. Well, it was in chat. Like, call him Bobby. So
I'll call you Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Does it
love
follow
it.
Bobby?
Try not to die, Bobby.
Do I need to call? Does Bobby work?
It sees meat in your hand. It's just gonna start eating it.
So in other words, Bobby probably didn't work. But yeah, I'm gonna give that and go towards the swords because I don't use an axe at all.
There are 3 swords. They're all relatively the same size. There's one that looks to be like I forget what the type of katana is called, but it's that really long, like Masamune or something.
Mm-hmm.
No dachi?
Maybe.
No dachi? Yeah.
It's
That's
a
fine.
real,
I think she's right. The Masamune blade
yeah.
supposed to
It's
be
like
really.
yeah, it's like the almost the length of like a human body.
Yeah,
Right.
Sephiroth.
Final Fantasy kind of stuff.
Yeah. And the other two swords are broadswords. One of them is like solid gold, the other one is all black. Um, and the katana is pretty. It just has like a really pretty, like royal ultraviolet kind of blue sheen to it. But the handle is like red rope.
None of these fit what I would use.
Dibs!
Is here? Did you say that, Eric?
you just hear him like come running out. Dibs!
Which one are you gonna pick?
I'm kidding, but I'll probably at least try to pick up that that pretty sword.
Nice, the katana. Yes, the katana's fucking badass.
I couldn't sleep. You guys were keeping me up with all the talking. I don't remember who this guy was, but fuck him. Anyway, if these are weapons we can take, I really want to at least let me take it out and hold it. It looks so pretty.
I mean, I'm probably gonna take it anyway, even though I can't use it.
Wait, what?
Free weapon.
Take one of these other ones then.
Nagamaki.
Well, I mean, I don't really use a broadsword.
Yeah, they're both heavy broadswords.
Yeah.
They're two-handed weapons.
Yeah, neither of these fit my. Alfred, you use a broadsword at all?
I never trained with the larger, heavier swords.
Eh. Do we know anyone who could use one?
Besides, I just bought this sword tonight.
And free sword.
Are they free though? Just to be clear.
They're free as long as I'm taking about not letting anyone know. I mean, apart from you all.
Well, I mean,
I'm not going to use a two-handed broadsword. Gold, black, or the otherwise.
There
Yeah.
is a battle axe. It's a throwing axe, and it does 2 attacks every turn.
Yoink.
Like, it's like
Damn.
boomerang style.
I mean, I'm not one to take an axe from Eric.
Well, I mean, I have the crossbow, so I might as well have some axes to throw.
There you go.
I will have to send you the info on those.
So while the team is shopping for free, their chatter kind of like back and forth, their conversation of excitement, and Calamity's ears start to fade as Calamity kind of like goes into his head, and he's thinking like, we're in this fortified tower with the world's knowledge and more, and he still has so many questions, and this might be his one chance to get those questions answered. So he is going to hop back to, because I'm imagining we're like in a different space where there's like weapons and stuff like that, so he's going to hop back to the control panel to speak
orb.
to the librarian.
Yeah, you walk over to it, you pass the Heroes Feast table, and there's a couple of owls now kind of helping themselves to some of the things. And you walk by them. What do you ask?
So I'm gonna go ahead and say that whatever knowledge I get, if Calamity would share with his party who's in a different area doing their own thing, if we're like, you know, sitting down and we're talking or whatever, he would regurgitate like anything that you tell me. Just a heads up. So as I come to the control panel, my first question would be, he knows that there's a number of gods, but since like the evil side won, and like there seems to be no really good side, or they're hidden or whatever, he's curious about like the other gods and their worship. So he would say, who worships the god of the void? And he's thinking about like that mural back when we were trying to find our friend, our dark monk friend, that we were in a temple and we saw like, I guess, people worshiping like the herring gun and like the eclipse or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's his first question. Who worships the void, the god of the void?
And it pulls up what looks to be a bunch of different emblems. And they're all kind of simple in design. They almost look like ancient symbols, really just like two-stroke each letter. And they are drawn kind of downward instead of across. And you do pull up a couple of like ancient artifacts that you can zoom into if you want to. But basically it tells you about a cult that worships them. It's very small. It's definitely one of the oldest cults to exist. Just
I
as
knew she was a
old
part
as
of a
like
cult. I knew she was a
Yeah.
cult.
it's like just as old as druid worship, actually. Just as soon as the earth kind of had its own life force, these people kind of worshiped the sky above, which ended up honing in, and the Zero God presenting himself to these people, they decided to worship him because he granted them the ability to use their third eye, where they're able to kind of look into other planes of existence.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, my third eye. Yeah.
My next question is, and like there is no kind of real order to these questions. Like Calamity is just kind of like hopping from one place to another in his mind, just like so many questions, and he's just kind of like saying what comes to mind. The next question that he would ask would be, what are the gods' rank and power?
It does pull up another, looks like entity that not a lot of people know about. And
There's a
there's only
spreadsheet for this.
There is. And there seems to be, the more down to earth the gods are, like the god of, instinct, for example, would be a little bit lower on the power scale, because they only run a certain area, which only exists like on that earth, or on other planets or whatever. But Zero God's definitely the top one that you see, but there seems to be another energy force that's above him. And there's not a lot of record, there's no image, there's no one there's like a really small group of people who kind of debate about its existence based on like study and conversations through prayer, like to other gods, but it hasn't ever really materialized before. But otherwise, Zero God's definitely up there at the top. And actually, the god of hell is the actual weakest god.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't see that one coming.
And it says because it's just so locked into its own area. Like it doesn't have power beyond a certain plane of existence. It can't infiltrate that. Whereas the Zero God can infiltrate all of them, which is how it deciphers its power. And then right beneath it though is Orson, the god of sky. And who you find out actually used to be a living creature on Earth that was actually given enough power because it praised the Zero God enough and was granted power from the Zero God to represent itself. And was like and was kind of given a place in power with other gods. Which was Thiago. And Thiago is right under that. And yeah.
Interesting. So it goes unknown, god of the void, god of sky, god of the earth, god of instinct, and then god of hell?
Yeah. And then as far as Mateo,
I was just about to ask.
the god of light and death, it's interesting because it shows on like the graph or whatever that he's kind of like off to the side towards the bottom. And if you were to ask like why, it would tell you because he has limited power in himself, but he has the power to kill other gods.
Oh,
That's handy.
Like he's the one who manages the death of gods, and you find out that gods die all the time, but it just takes thousands of years.
interesting. Well, you know what? Since that question has been answered, and you kind of brought up this bombshell, I'm going to ask. Since it sounds like all gods every so often, every 1,000 years or what have you, have to be reborn to regain power or something like that, roughly. I know that we've seen the god of light and death. We saw him as like an old man with his
Dog.
dingy dog. But I'm just
Who you calling dingy?
oh, sorry.
Poor hound.
I'm gonna say, librarian. What's the reborn form of the god of light and death?
And it pulls up that human face that you recognize, and it does indeed confirm that it was him.
Solid. My next question would be, and like my ears will kind of like slowly drop at this one.
Fucking Perot over here. Poirot.
Hey, I got a list. And my ears kind of like fall at this point. And I will say, librarian, why did Saber have to die using his powers of the void? Because Calamity he felt sad from the get-go, but now knowing, his true nature feels even worse. Because, oh fuck, not only did I like, do the whole war thing and like, made evil win, like I also killed my friend. Like, so.
Man, do not be friends with.
I'm sorry.
Doesn't have an answer for that.
Oh shit. Oh, okay.
That was based off choice.
Okay. And I'm gonna say on the same kind of brain length of that, I'm gonna say, librarian, can me and my friends go back to our own time? Is that possible?
It says yes. There's a number of ways. But it's not easy.
What are the top 3?
But definitely various different spells. Like the easiest way is to collect these specific artifacts to put them together and use magic to pull up a different type of portal. And it's easier under an eclipse.
Of course.
Yeah.
Nice. You're really getting that brand down, and I love it. My next question would be, I would like look over and kind of thinking of the past, our time where we came from. I'll look over and I might like get a glimpse of Avaran or whatnot, and I'll look back. Librarian, who killed Avaran's mom?
Ooh. Oh, I have a page for this.
A page?
Damn.
Ooh. All right. It looks like
Today we learn.
We're back to lore dump.
Yes.
Anytime Calamity's in the room.
Oh man. It looks like it was a cultist that worshipped the Zero God.
God damn it!
That cult
God damn it!
wiped out most of Avaran's family. And there's like it pulls up like records of like like the news, like people keep up.
Mhm.
It does say how the deaths happened. Wasn't good. It was an ambush. It looks like 2 sons were the sole survivors, which indicates that Avaran's brother is still alive.
Okay, see,
Oh my god.
so Calamity's conflicted. He wants to tell Avaran like, "Hey, your brother's alive." And back in our time, maybe I don't know, he's human or whatever. But at the same time, he would have to be like, "Oh, by the way, it's my fault." So until further notice, DM, I'm taking that to the grave.
Okay.
Don't we see it on like the huge projection of the wall?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of a
So
really. Wait,
yeah,
kind of a really.
Yeah,
They do, but like if they're in a different section of the library, they can't see it. But like,
I'm just picturing Calamity turning around and Avaran just like.
Yeah, I thought it was like projected on the huge wall so we would see it. You can see it.
but it does pull up, and you see like there's a bunch of like script, like whoever like writes down all these things and obituaries and stuff. You do notice writings from somebody that looks like it was written in a journal. And if you were to look at it or open it up, it seems to be rumor that Avaran's family had ties to a real royal family of the islands, and that there's a rumor that the royal family that currently exists actually usurped the throne. And as far as the original rulers of the islands, no one really knows who they are. There's been a couple of talks about it, but it looks like a woman who wrote this, looks like the woman who was closely connected to the brother, looks like she was like in love with him and writes fondly about him, even though he's like writes about how he's kind of out on his own and she's here by herself and misses him, and says that one day he will take his rightful place, and signs off. And she did pass away in an obituary 100 years ago. A little less than 100 years ago.
Well then, excuse me, royalty. After getting that answer, I would say my brain would jump to when we learned that the god of light and death, the reason why he's gone or why he was said to be dead is because his focus shifted, because there's a bigger universe and he's focused on that. Out of curiosity, Calamity would say, the god of light and death, what's his new focus? What's so important that he can't be here?
Doesn't pull up an answer for that.
I don't think you can speak for him.
Yeah.
Then my mind leaps again to back when we were all in the astral plane and we saw some really tripping balls shit. But one thing that definitely remember was seeing, like, in the middle of space, we saw these 3 golden doors or golden archways. And I'll say, what were those golden archways in the astral plane?
Oh.
McDonald's.
That was kind of.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's actually an alchemist's hideaway. So it's like the door to his study. So it's where it's like he has a bunch of power and magic that he's collected, and he was able to create his own like little office studio space in that plane.
Al the chemist.
Wait, the alchemist that like gave me my hand?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We never
Ronald
went through them.
McAlchemist.
yeah, we never went through them. So, oh shit, Colin, hi, what's up, yo?
Hi, okay.
um, very interesting because we never went through those archways. So, okay. My brain would then leap to the druids because there was like a little plane that was attached to the astral plane that we kind of had to lasso Avaran through.
Yeah.
So Calamity would ask, if the druids can't walk on Earth, where do they live?
And it pulls up a bunch of information on them, actually. It looks like it's a new log. So it does take a while to generate. And you see, and you can actually see it like code, like it's generating in real time. So like as things kind of happen, and like this kind of magic sort of records everything that sort of happens within a few different planes. And it does say that pretty much the druids created this plane of existence, or they opened it up and there was nothing there, and they just kind of colonized in it. So it's literally another world to live in. But,
Photocopied.
yeah, like another dimension, kind of. And they've just because it's been hundreds and hundreds of years, actually a 1,000 years or so since it was created, they just, I think it's not that they're incapable of walking on Earth again. They just don't have the magic resources that they need, because all the evil and all the cultists, all the drain magic from the Earth, like they just have nothing left. Like all the forests are just dead or corrupted, and so there's just no energy to pull from for them to even walk there freely anymore. So what turned into just kind of hide away, like until the war is over, kind of turned like, oh, there's nowhere else to go now because there's no more doors to walk through.
And knowing that, I would say, what would it take for them to be able to walk the world again? Our world.
And actually, Avran might know this from his old kind of buried memory, but so Avran would know this, but it would take destroying the turrets. It would take dismantling the darkness on Earth currently. So once the darkness is kind of pulled back into their own plane of existence, and Earth can be Earth again, just like regular nature, it'll find a way to regrow.
Oh my god, that was poetic! I feel like I'm watching an episode of The Planeteers, Captain Planet.
Captain
I loved it. I love that show.
Heart.
I thought I was watching Jurassic Park. What?
I thought this was going more Fern Gully.
Nature always finds a way.
And my mind will leap yet again, as it is sporadic.
Hop, hop, hop.
I'm thinking about the face of the god of light and death, and I'll say, librarian, who was the reborn god of the sky?
And it actually, light of death or god of sky?
God of sky.
Orson.
Mm-hmm.
And it pulls up, I think he's the bird person. Yeah. Oh, he's an elf. My bad. I remember now. It's an elven woman. And she's super gorge. She's a redhead. But she actually came from this similar mountain range that this city exists on. There used to be an old city like 1,000 years ago where a little bit of everywhere lived pretty peacefully. That's since been destroyed over time, not even from the war, but she came from that era, and so the god of sky was reborn through her.
Was it that hot elven lady that Dutch was trying to get with in like the very first episode?
The woman in our magic box? I was just thinking that.
Yeah, that was her.
Oh my
She ended up running the
god!
army, yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god, I love learning.
She was reborn and then took the mantle but that was before she was a god. So you actually saw like a still image of her when she was just a warrior. Back in that old ancient war before that one. And I think she just did so well, and she harnessed the powers, similar powers to the god of Sky did, and he lent his power to her to win that war at the time. Which is why she probably liked you guys or found some familiarity, because she sensed that you guys also had similar gifts she was given, which is how she was able to win her war.
Interesting. Then Calamity will say, "Well, who's in the body of the reborn god of instinct?"
Instinct was the bird guy. He looks like an eagle. Like an eagle. What are the bird people called? I'm sorry.
Aarakocra.
Aarakocra.
Thank you.
We all pronounced it differently.
I was gonna say Kenku.
Kenku. Oh, Kenku would be so cute. But no, he's like a big, like, buff eagle, like super bro.
America.
America.
Yeah. Fuck yeah!
But he's always in armor, and he's kind of a stern dude. But he was pretty pivotal in the war. Even though they lost, he's still kind of appeared here and there to like inspire others. But he's kind of out of power at this point.
And on that mind trail, I'll say, even though I feel like we might have seen it, I feel like I know definitely Avaran has probably seen it, but I'm foggy on the rest of us. But so I'm gonna ask, who's the reborn body of the god of Earth?
Iago.
Iago right now is a turtle. So it's like a turtle.
Wasn't it a turtle babe? A turtle lady woman?
Yeah, it was like an old woman. And she's kind of like reached the end of her. She's old. Like, she's real old. But yeah, she's
Master
chill.
Oogway old.
Yeah, she's Oogway for sure. Yeah, but
So
she's
so-
a Galapagos tortoise.
She's like on the tipping point of being reincarnated again. Basically.
She's looking. She's looking for someone.
All right, Everin, enjoy it while you got it, because who knows when she's coming back. Okay, and then I will ask, and I feel like right before I ask this, like the floor around me starts to dim, and there is an uncomfortable, heavy pressure around me before asking this, and
And then you hear the Bee Gees.
and I will say, who's the reborn body of the god of the hells? Braylon.
And it actually looks like the new god of hells has already been reborn. And it pulls up an image of Lander.
Aha!
I knew that.
Did you?
I saw that coming.
Okay. Okay. I, I think Calamity is like looking at the big screen and seeing this, and he just like freezes for a moment. What?
And then I'm gonna, since Toddle's not here, I'm gonna roleplay as Toddle for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Toddle's gonna run over, because Toddle's been eavesdropping but tinkering at the same time, looking through all the books, throwing a bunch of stuff in the bag of holding, and like running back. But as he runs back to like take another bite of a turkey leg, there is the image of Lander that appears, and he does hear your question. And Toddle slowly walks up to the projector as well and asks, how is Lander chosen to be for this? Like, why Lander? And it pulls up Lander's kind of backstory, but it looks like there was a quarrel for this role. So it looks like Braylon, who was the original god of Hells, was a Leonin.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he was weakened to the point where his powers actually taken from him. and was supposed to be given to like someone like Saphira or the guy with the floaty armor, like the big bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like Lander i intercepted that and took the role of it, or took over the god's power instead.
That's why the god of the hells is the weakest god, because he's like brand new. He's like a baby god.
Yeah. And he's limited. Like, and they knew, Lander knew, because Lander had, and you find out that Lander's been here before. Because when it does pull up the image, it shows him wearing, like, really fancy clothes that you can only freaking buy here, like, in the shops, you know? And a couple of, like, weapons. Like, he has that kind of armor collar that was being sold in one of the stores, so it might give you that hint, or Toddle would notice that. And it says, like, he probably had enough information to know that while Braylon was on the earthly plane, he was at his weakest. And because he's greedy, the generals of the Hell Army wanted the power for themselves, and Lander took that opportunity to take it for himself.
Interesting.
But you also see Saphira kind of like scaling the tower looking for you all. You're not sure if Saphira's even aware this happened. Or like how it happened.
I after seeing that, hearing that, looking at Toddle kind of go through the motions, I would ask I wasn't ready for that one. Where's Braylon?
And it looks like Braylon's unknown. They don't know.
Interesting.
There's no like obituary record for gods, really.
Right. I would say, because in Calamity's mind, in this new evil world order, like, evil prevails. So like, if you don't worship Braylon or the god of the hells, then it's like, you out of here, because we ain't dealing with any of the other gods bullshit. So I would say, who still worships the other gods outside of the god of hell, and how can we find them?
And it has a hard time pulling up a lot of records. It tends to highlight specific cities and villages all over the map that, where different, I guess, cathedrals can be and like worshipping sites are. But there's just been so much death and carnage and unrecorded death that it's kind of hard to pinpoint where and for who. But it looks like the god of sky and instinct tend to have the most worshippers right now, and they are known to be like actively not fighting against it. But ever since you guys rebelled 100 years ago, there's been more uprisings, and those tend to be the people that are fighting back when they can, or saving as many people as they can.
Gotcha. And my very last question is, thinking about the new god of the hells, Lander, and knowing that from the charts right now, currently, he is the weakest god, and knowing about the kind of like the rebirth process and the level of power of gods and what have you, my final question would be, librarian, how does a god gain more power?
Through taking, and lists a couple of different ways, taking over other planes of existence, but really like specifically for the gods of hell, like they don't have power over any other plane, so they need to collaborate with other gods in order to gain power. which is why they have the royal families to begin with. And why those families have been corrupted is because they're able to run other planes for them. Whereas other gods, like the god of sky, like, can harness power from all directions. So they can be as powerful as they can be, but they also, if what the god of hells has never understood, and because of their greed, if one power over the other is overthrown, everything is set off balance. So everyone's power is somewhat crippled.
And after getting the answer to my last question, I'm gonna look over at Toddle. And how would you say Toddle is looking right now after getting that information that he got?
Toddle does the Toddle thing where he totally shuts down and kind of like caves into himself. And he's quiet, but he does whisper to you quietly and says, I know there's good in Lander. I've seen it. There has to be a reason why he did this. There has to be more to the story. I have to believe that, and I will believe that.
I'm going to gently grasp his hand. I'm gonna say, it's okay, Toddle. I believe you. Let's go get some food, okay? And I'm going to hop over.
Toddle has trouble letting go and does grab you. And says, just because you have the power to choose who you are, so does Lander. Lander's still Lander.
Okay.
And Toddle kind of like realizes how he's behaving and lets you go gently and kind of lightly pats you as like apologetically sorry, and like straightens up your coat, and then instead of eating though, just goes back to tinkering on and totally takes one of the swords from from the display and starts breaking it apart to harness some of this stuff.
So as he starts doing that with the blade, and I'm seeing that he's like, tinkering and like making this stuff, and how I left my friends earlier, going through weapons and stuff, because who knows what we're about to be heading into. For the last time, I look at the globe, and I'm going to remember what Toddle told me about the black crystal that I wear as a bracelet, and how he taught me about spell focuses, and how he taught me about like how other items could help me and whatnot. And I'm gonna say, last thing, librarian, where can I find a blood well vial?
Ooh, actually, there's a couple of stores in the city that have it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Could you like ship it here? Is that like a thing? Do you have free shipping? No, I don't say that.
Librarian.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop over to the dinner table and just eat.
All right.
I'm going to the librarian. I got you.
Does
Ooh.
okay.
Yeah.
Go.
My questions are simple. Kalzarath is very, very tactical and lives in the moment. All right. So the weapons weren't good for me. Do we have any scrolls that I could procure? And if this is supposed to have all the knowledge, I've heard about these legendary tomes that could give you bonuses. Do you have any of those?
Actually, yeah.
The second it says yeah, you just see Kaldraft like, oh.
Show
Yeah,
me
it's
zoomed
actually-
location.
Yeah.
There are a few that remain in the tower, but it looks like it's under, like the king has them. The Dark Elf King has them
God.
in his possession. You can ask him for it.
How do I get his contact information to ask him?
I think. Oh, you can probably ask the cube. Or
Yeah, I'm asking the cube.
oh. It says it can generate a message for you, and it'll go directly to him.
Then yeah, I'll generate a message like, you know we're going to go on a mission, and I would like to know if there are any tomes or scrolls that you are willing to depart with that you believe will be helpful for us. Me personally, I do not delve in with magic, but I am more of a martial combatant, and the weapons that were in the tower just do not seem to help my expertise.
Cool. All right. It does send the message.
Yeah, and then, of course that was written in the finest of
The calligraphy is all good.
yeah. Oh, calligraphy. It's
On
written in
point.
common. It's written in common, but stylized. It's Sylvan,
Nice.
so it's like perfect calligraphy. Like if anyone knows Calstrath, they were just like, where the hell did he learn to write like that?
Cute. Any other questions for it?
And I also would like to know if you have a animal handling for dummies.
It does.
For chaos unicorns.
And it does point a location in the library, which is a manual for that.
But I'm gonna go and get that too, and start reading it.
And as you do, we are going to go ahead and take our break. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. We'll be back right at 8 o'clock to continue. Until then, everyone, go ahead and give yourselves a long rest. And yeah, we will also, if you've eaten from the table, go ahead and level up too.
Ooh.
So everyone levels up
Hey.
once. And then we'll see you guys in 10 minutes.
Pow,
Have
pow,
a good
pow,
tea break.
pow.
Hi.
Hey.
It's me, the totally not cheesy guy. Hey. I just want to say, this is a great segue into our amazing sponsors who are not cheesy. Hey.
Griffin Co.
Thank you, Griffin Co, for being our longest time sponsor. Guys, if you have not checked them out at griffinco.com, they've been focusing on making gifts. So if you are an amazing gift giver with friends that love geeky gaming and other things, that they're actually branching off into more things. Last Christmas, they actually printed out an ornament for my sister. They knew my sister was into like the medical field, so I print out an ornament, and it had like the stethoscope. I can't see that shit. I can't say that word. What's that word?
A stethoscope?
Yes. It had that on there.
Stethoscope.
And it had like a catchy phrase on there. It was awesome. So check them out at griffinco.com. Be sure to use our code FABLED42 to get 22% off your purchase. Thank you, Griffin Co. And also a huge thank you to Underground Oracle. They are a very awesome small company. I think that their company has 2 writers in there who are amazing people. They write items and stories and game hooks for both D&D and a Cypher system, as well as other game systems. Please check them out at undergroundoracle.com, or you can even go through drivethrurpg.com. Thank you, guys. Back to you, amazing, beautiful, wonderful DM.
Oh, thank you. Welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone had a good snack break, had your own bag of Cheetos. Last we left off the team, they are hunkered down at the library, kind of revving up for what's to come. They did get to meet the king and the head of the Tyrek family, who gave them a little insight into them, into their specific royal family, and how they are actually on their side and here to help when they want. So that's a relief. No one died.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of questions, some lore dump, some mystery about Avaran and Avaran's background, as well, which is great.
Welcome back to Calamity's Checklist.
Yes, and even got a little insight on Lander and Lander's whereabouts as well, and what he's been up to. So now we're back to the crew. A couple of people sleeping. I know Chanel and Citri are passed the fuck out together upstairs. And most of the animals, except the owls, are all asleep as well. but the library is pretty quiet. The lights are dim. And yeah, that's where we left off.
Averan
Oh.
is sitting at the table, just kind of like swirling a glass of wine from the feast, and just kind of mulling over everything that Calamity recounted to him and everyone else about Mateo. Because when he was talking about the godly rankings in power levels, Averan was particularly interested in the fact that Mateo was the only one that was separate from the rest of the list, and apparently is the only one who had the power to kill other gods. And it's at that last thought that he glances down at the dagger that Mateo left behind and remembers the words carved into the handle, "with regards." And he continues to muse on that, thinking he may have an idea of what it means.
I'm so happy you remembered that.
And I'm sorry, you were going to say, Darian?
Oh, I was just gonna say I am drinking wine, meditating, reading over how to take care of Bobby, and hoping for a reply from the king on the
Bobby!
books he tells. Bobby!
And actually, at that, I would say a few hours have passed by, and you are gonna see the same gnome creature come with a couple of packages. And
but
there's a couple of packages that are left in front of you, Kalsarath, and there's a little package in front of Calamity as well.
It's Cheetos.
I'm opening up like a kid on solstice.
It's an Uzi.
And it was those blood vials that you did ask for,
Ooh.
Calamity. And then there are 3 scrolls that are given to you, as well as for Kalsarath. And yeah, they have a couple of... Hold on, shit, I just pulled it up.
Before he leaves, I reach into my bag at my side and flip him a gold coin.
Ooh, he's very happy about that. He comes and like, kind of bows repeatedly, and tries to speak again, but then can't.
I get it.
Have you guys noticed?
We don't need to speak.
Oh,
It's okay.
I was like, "What's the scrolls?" I'm ready to write them down.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up which ones I
Okay,
chose.
wizard. While Anne's looking at that, do you guys find it a little bit curious how a lot of people that we've met in this world have sewed up lips?
No.
I mean, it's a fucked up world with fucked up people doing fucked up things. Not really.
Do they
I
have
mean-
black eyes?
I mean, I haven't been up to this plane for a while, but where I am, no, kind of not that special.
Okay, so one of the scrolls is Scroll of Protection for Aberrations. And then a spell scroll for instant summons.
Ooh. Ooh. Wait.
Instant, you say.
Ooh.
You
Wait,
can cast, yes, so like, if you need to summon, pretty much, I would say, fuck it, I'll say anything you want.
Oh,
That's like a wish spell then.
Yeah, it's a summons things. Copying wizard spell both require ability checks.
Court summons.
Yeah.
Jury summons.
if you can do that, like, you're doing in claims court right now. You can't find us.
And there's
Here,
also,
monster. It's your mom.
and
They
there's
said come home.
There's also a spell scroll for Dominate Monster.
Goddamn.
Yeah. Dominate that motherfucker.
And then weapons-wise,
Ooh.
It looks like you were given. It's really in a nice, like, little black box too, and they look to be bracers. Man, I don't know if I. I've had these for a while. I'm like, do I want to give them to you or not? I guess I said I will. So, I think I can just give you this.
Are those Avaran because he's a fighter?
Well, I mean, you don't have to give anyone anything because you haven't said the name of it, so we don't even know what we're
True.
missing out on. So there's no pressure.
They look like bracers, but I think any creature can wear these. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Bracers of God killing.
Dibs!
Mine.
Yeah.
All for Dickie, all for Dickie.
I've taken really nothing. Well, I took the axes.
No, I know. Just you say dibs on everything. So.
I mean,
Yes, that's the
chances
point.
are I'm gonna hand out the scrolls because I'm not a magic user as much.
Seems like a toddle thing.
Yeah, and then this one has Hexpansion Defense. So while wearing these, when you are a creature you see within 5 feet of you are hit by an attack, this can it uses the shield spell essentially.
Ooh.
But it's a stronger than. I think the DC goes up. I'm sorry, by 1d6, so you roll on top of the regular speed, regular shield spell, and if you need to roll a d6 to add effectiveness to it, you can.
Okay.
This doesn't require any extra anything. It just happens instantaneously. There's also a repulsive field. It's a bonus attack, and it shields. You can pull up, and so any attack that hits you, it'll actually reflect back on your opponent.
That sounds like an artificial thing. Artificer thing.
Yeah.
Damn, Eric, we can hear them bubbles.
Oh, sorry.
The mic is real good now.
I forgot. Yeah, it's right. It's right there by the mic. I forgot.
Damn.
Sorry.
DM, there is before the night's over. Before the night's over, I need to do something, but only like
Okay.
at the end of the night.
All right. And Chris, did you say your character wanted to react to something?
I did already.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, we be chilling then. Does anyone talk about anything?
No, go ahead.
Just making sure my ladies are well.
Yeah, they start to wake up. Chanel's the last to wake up, but she's starting to get dressed and kind of asks for your update, Diggy.
I have plates of food for them. Everything set aside. The update. Well, I guess I missed some of it, but I assume that Calamity has filled me in enough to where I can share with them.
Yeah, all the things.
Some king guy, I don't know. Talk to Calamity. My God.
And Chanel is actually the first one to come down and kind of see everyone kind of at the table, sort of waking up. And she takes a seat at the table. Citri takes a little bit longer, but does notice your quarterstaff, Avaran. And she asks if she can take a look at it.
Sure, love. By all means. Gonna hand it over.
They're waking up in the morning or at night?
At night. They've had their long rest. I said morning, didn't I? But
It's the same thing, basically.
yeah, she takes a look at it and she kind of like both of her brows raise up. Where'd you get this? This is 100% a druid artifact right here.
I just gave it to me.
Just gave it to you. Why?
His tongue's cut out. He couldn't say.
And then she remembers that we watched the whole picture of like your memories unfolding when you took down the turret. And she's like, "Oh, this must have been a message then, huh?" Does anything happen when you hold it?
Well, it seems like when I hold it specifically, I can make out what these owls are saying, but I tossed it to Kalzarath and he couldn't hear a damn thing. Not at all.
And she hands it over to Chanel. Does anything happen when you hold this? And she holds it and kind of like looks at it, hands it back. No, nothing. And then she kind of she gives it back to you, but she walks over to a book she was looking at earlier about druids, and she does a little bit of research on it for you.
Alright, well, I kind of just slide it back into my pouch for safekeeping.
So Kaltharath gets up and says, "All right, guys, I got 3 scrolls here that we could divvy up. Whoever wants them, because I probably won't be able to use them as well as I should. So who wants this scroll to dominate monsters? Any takers? Any takers? One going once, going twice? No.
Well, I mean, I think Total would probably like that.
Yeah, Tunnel would probably want that one, huh?
All right, let's hand that one to Total. Then we got a scroll of protection from aberrations.
I just kind of look around at my armor and my shield. I think I'm pretty well protected.
Chanel raises her hand. I'll take that.
All right, give that one to Chanel.
As
Now this is a scroll of
Kalzarath reads it out loud, I'm gonna be like, "What's an aberration?"
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay, so it's protection from just something that we don't even really know about.
And Chanel answers. She's like, "Well, it's for those big beasts, like, I don't know, like eyeball. You know, the big eyeball guy. What's it called, Citri?" And Citri's like, "It's a beholder. You know, like beholders. Kind of those hard to find creatures. I mean, who knows what we'll run into, right? Maybe I could reverse this somehow and make it so we can summon them with this."
Oh, well, before you get on that one, I have the scroll of summons at something. I can barely read it. It doesn't look like it has a real. I don't know what the hell this does. It says I can tell it's a summon scroll.
The Dramon's instant summons.
At
Yeah,
this
so
point,
You can summon. Yeah, shit. Never mind. You can summon creatures with it. So you can summon dragons or a Taresk or something like that.
oh,
And-
Once
and
I found that out, then I'm
don't
like,
tell Darian that.
you know what?
My God.
Maybe I'll keep on to this one.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to like after Kalzarath says that, I am going to boop. Great. Not say anything. I'm just gonna think this. That he can speak really well. Like he can speak extraordinarily well. Like an extremely well-educated person. Like we heard when he was like doing the whole calligraphy thing and speaking to the thing. But I'm catching on that that's kind of an act. He's not as smart as I thought he was. Cause 2 things so far he didn't know at all. He just read it, like he knew about it, but didn't know anything at all. So I'm just like, And that's all.
You're not as smart as you appear, Kalzarath.
I never said I was book smart.
Rogues be lying. No, I'm kidding.
Like I never said I was book smart. No.
Rogues be rogan.
I learned from experience. So unless someone said, "Hey, that's,"
Don't worry, baby. You're pretty. You're gorgeous. That's all that matters. You're gorgeous.
At that, Citri does come down with a bit of the, she brings the book with her, and sits next to you, Avaran. It says right here that you must have been gifted some sort of power from the Druid family if you have I guess this is a way to kind of connect you to the druid plane.
Oh,
It
well,
used
that
to
was nice of him.
It used to cast magic at some point. I don't think you have the ability to do that, but I don't know, you might have some new tricks up your sleeve if you can discover what they are.
Well, I flicked it in that direction, nothing happened. Or maybe, I wonder if doing that is what made me start to hear the animals. Now I'm kind of pondering at that and like kind of rubbing my chin against the diamond part, and then
You can speak with animals? Cool. What am I saying?
you just said, "What am I saying?"
Oh my god, it works.
Did anyone pick up the?
Well, he's definitely a genius, that's for sure.
Did anyone remember to pick up the potions that were with the feast?
I raised my hand.
Okay, good.
Potions? And then Citri looks around. Wait, who has my one?
Wait, what?
Give me
I
one.
need one for each ear.
How about
DM, how many how many of those potions did we get? Those
We have
superior...
one for each party member?
Oh, so like they're like actually like a part of the party, and like they're like not just extra like people on the side. They're like a part of the
Oh
party.
yeah, you're gonna need them.
Okay. I'll reach
They've
behind.
been helping us this whole way. How dare you?
Only because you're. I'm gonna reach behind my back and pull out 2 of the potions. Here you go. I'm gonna give one to Citri and one to Chanel. I remember their names now. They are part of the party.
Yeah.
I need my potion. Where's my potion at?
I poop and it comes out. I'm kidding. I hand you a potion. I hand you a potion. I hand
Little
everyone.
rabbit pellets.
I hand everyone their potion of superior healing.
Thick.
Yeah.
That did it, they're thick.
Get my drinks back.
And Chanel kind of takes a look at the cube, and she actually decides to dismantle it from the projector, and she pockets it. Plans to take it with her.
Is that okay for us to do? Do we know if the king still needs it for safety?
The king trusts us, right? That's what you said. He doesn't have to
What?
know.
Do we need it? Didn't he just give us the ring? That does the same thing?
Well, the ring was just to get us to where we need to go. I picture it in my head, and it takes us there. I don't know that this is more of a knowledge source.
But does it have to be in the library to work?
I'm not actually not sure about that, but I can definitely use it and harness the energy that it has inside.
Which one of
If
these?
we're ever in a desperate situation.
Which one just took the cube?
Chanel.
Insight check on Chanel. Let me see. So my insight check came to a total of 18.
So
Oh,
before you say
better than-
anything, I also want to do an insight check.
What's yours? Your roll.
6.
Not very insightful.
You still beat mine, actually.
Oh.
It's not good. Yeah, I mean, she is genuinely. She thinks she can use it, just in case.
Okay.
But
So
Just want to make sure that's not like some disguised person that's using us and stuff. Okay, noted.
So Kazarath is gonna be like, so what? You thinking arcane bomb, explosion?
it might help if we're ever in a pinch.
Just tell me when you're gonna set it off, so I can start running.
And then Toddle laughs and like points at the kind of tattoos that everyone got on their chests. I think we're good if we're ever in a pinch.
Those or something? I don't have any tattoos.
I flash my chest at Calzarath to show him my tattoo too. Yeah. Ah. Hellraiser, guys are like flashing each other.
We're all just like chest out.
We flash each other. Hellraiser.
And Citri's like, oh, I have one too. And she pulls a little tattoo of a little lotus leaf on her chest.
Yeah, okay.
Cal's just like, okay, I'm assuming these tattoos do something, or you all just had one crazy night.
You're right on
Both can
both counts.
be true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Toddle's kind of sitting looking around. So you think we're ready? We gonna do this? What's the
guess we're
plan?
gonna plan.
Well, I've been thinking about it, and the king gave us this ring. Said it's going to transport us where we need to go. That I need to focus my mind on it, and I've seen the image of where it says we need to go. So at the very least, we know we're going to a graveyard with a statue in the middle of some elven woman. It looked like. After
With
that,
wings,
with wings. That's right.
holding a staff.
That she was. And so, I think once we're all ready to go, that's the next thing for it, is to get on going to the islands, look for the next turret.
Okay. Chanel, can we get that cube again and let him get a picture of it one more time, just so?
A sketch?
Yeah.
Yeah, Toddle can
Hold
sketch. That's what Toddle does.
Because I also remember the king saying, if you don't have a clear image of it, you might wind up somewhere you don't want to be.
Please show us the QR code, man.
I think it's one of those Avaran would know, but Chris does not type situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to roll for it, so
Ooh, alright.
see if you land in the right place or not. And
Oh.
so Toddle is like a little bit nervous. All right, well, from my understanding, as soon as we leave this tower, we're gonna be seen by everyone. So if they already have access to this spire, they can probably teleport as fast as we can. So we have to move quick, right?
Theoretically.
Right.
And if you see Lander, you leave him to me. Let me deal with it. Promise?
Tata, I'll do my best not to kill him. But if it comes between him or one of us, I will hold my sword back.
I won't let it get to that. I promise.
Hey, you got 2 new swords, don't you?
I do. And Toddle did tinker the power from that black sword into a chest plate. And decides to put it on, strap it on.
Wait, you did that in one night?
Oh yeah.
Damn.
I got a job for you.
Give me the jobs.
I mean, not tonight, but I have a rapier that if you could do something with.
Totally. And Toddle just like takes the rapier from you.
Oh, not tonight. I might need it.
I could do it on the go.
Okay. Like, okay.
All right, well, look, man, I'm really worked up now. What's happening? What are we doing?
Avaran starts to pack any gear that he has, make sure that he's in a state of readiness so that, if they land in their place and people are on their tail, he's ready to go. He even packs some of the food off the table into a bag so that they'll have it in case they need it.
I take 2 tomahawk steaks.
And have to put the running heels on.
I got 2 tomahawk steaks. I just shove one into Bobby's mouth.
DM.
Bobby devours. Fuck
Bobby!
Yeah.
So
Bobby!
since it's nearing the end of this night or this rest stop, Kalzarath, you feel a shift coming from Calamity's direction. You look and you don't see, but you feel, because your awareness is so high. You feel that creature peeking through the gate once more. At first, it looks at you, and then it looks to the eclipse beast. You and only you hear as you watch your new friend, this eldritch unicorn, slowly descend into its own shadow until it's just a puddle of black. And,
Bobby!
and you see it slowly trail to Calamity's shadow, and it binds with his shadow and disappears. Calamity is just probably asleep, don't know what's happening. And then you feel that eye looking at you dissipate.
Okay.
That's
And
all.
Chanel looks over. Where'd your unicorn go?
I think you just went home for a bit.
Home. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
And both Chanel and Citri like look at Diggy and then like slowly look at Calamity as he's like asleep.
I
All
thought,
right. Well, I think we should all, get whatever rest we can, because when Calamity wakes up, we gotta hit the road.
All right. And Chanel does pour another glass of wine for herself. if some of us don't survive tomorrow, I hope you know that it's been a real privilege to have fought next to you all and be part of this.
Well, likewise, lass. I'm always happy to fight alongside someone who is fighting for the same cause.
No matter the outcome, we did the right thing and we did our best. And she like chugs the whole thing really quickly, like a sorority girl.
And at this, I'm like, oh. Bloop, 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 bloop.
And Citri just like shakes her head.
What am I gonna? Nah, never mind. I was gonna think of something to ask, but she already has the cube in her bag or whatever, so forget it.
So if we're we haven't done the long rest yet. We're about to.
No, we already
We did
did.
it.
We did it.
We got
okay,
the long
so-
rest from the Heroes Feast.
Yeah. Okay. So if we're about to, unless we're about to head out right now, because you said Calamity's asleep right now.
Yeah.
That's what
It's still
Calamity had
middle of
said.
the night.
Yeah,
Busy
okay.
absorbing other creatures and shadows
Yeah.
and things.
So I'm gonna walk by Calamity. I'm not gonna wake him up or anything, but in Abyssal, I'm just gonna say, I know you're staring at me. I don't know what you want just yet. But when I find out if it's to mess with me, I'll figure out how to get you, and I will. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow. Seems
Sure.
rough.
It just reminds me of Naruto and the Nine-Tailed Fox demon. Anyway, sorry, that was a very nerd thing to say.
no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So because Avaran still has one level of exhaustion, he's gonna try and get as much rest as he can in the hopes that it eliminates that.
Yeah, you have time for technically two long rests if you want.
Oh fuck, and then yeah, I'm definitely gonna take one so I can get rid of that.
Yeah, Chanel just got rid of her point of exhaustion. Alright, fam.
Alright.
Is anyone asleep? I know Calamity's asleep.
I'm asleep
I'm in
now
my
too.
trance.
Everyone's asleep. Kalzarath is pretty much asleep. Diggy, are you gonna stay up or are you gonna be asleep?
Well, I'm hanging with my ladies, making sure they're taken care of.
Yeah, you're probably just chatting and fondling, doing the thing. So, there are gonna be a couple things that happen for you in the game, and I'll start with Calamity, because Calamity was the first one to go to sleep. You are gonna get a message in your dream. So, describe for me what Calamity would be dreaming about normally.
Calamity would be. Well, usually it's a nightmare. Usually it's a nightmare of him running for dear life, him being surrounded in an unknown forest, him being alone, the forest lying to him. It just nightmares like that.
You know, calamity tropes.
Gosh, okay. Sorry, my cat was so cute. I just put my hand out and he like ran over. Well, you are gonna get. Well, say okay, this is gonna be your nightmare. You are in a mansion, and there's a stairwell that winds downwards. And the further you go and down the stairwell, the tighter the air feels, and almost the harder it is to breathe and move forward. The stairs tend to stretch out even farther, and you know there's something waiting for you at the bottom that's not good. But it's been a reoccurring dream, and you get a little bit further each time. And this time, you get to a point where the stairwell ends and it turns into a dark hallway. But as you're about to step into it, you're going to hear a voice behind you, and it's going to be very familiar, but not familiar at the same time. You're going to feel like you're being spoken to, maybe as a friend or someone you've known in the past, but you can't really quite place who it is. But they say to you, in order for things to be reborn, there has to be death too. There has to be a balance of light and dark. Nothing exists that's good or evil. They can't exist without each other. That's why there's a balance. That's why you exist. And that's why I exist. And when things are off balance like this, are they really, or is there a purpose? Even I don't know, but maybe you do, and you will. Just know that whatever happens to you in the future was meant to be, and was designed for you. And the dream continues, but the dark hallway sort of dissipates into thin air, and you almost like in dreams where you kind of just jump from one place to another, you just appear somewhere else. And for a moment while you're asleep, you forget that ever happened until you wake up. And in Avaran, your dream, I would say you're sitting in a forest, and you do see almost like a lighted presence, definitely humanoid, like walking on two legs, walking in front of you, but it's just a body of light. And it fills you up with a lot of warmth. And you feel a lot of hope for what's to come. And Kalzarath, I would say as you're kind of collecting yourself, you have this weird, you don't know how, but you had the ability to tap into both dreams. You don't see them fully, but like it's almost like you vision them yourself, but you just feel like you don't belong there because you're also half awake. So you're sitting there and you're like, oh, like why is it these images kind of flashing in your head? You have a picture of Calamity at the bottom of a stairwell, what looks to be a dark presence similar to what's caged back and has been staring at you, but a little bit different, whispering into his ear. And then you also have a vision of Avran sitting in the middle of a field in the forest, almost like he's meditating. And that's where we're going to end today's show for now. We will see you all.
But
in
it's
the next one.
only 8:44. There's still time.
I know, but I want to save it. I want to save it.
If we go into this, if we go into whatever it is next, I'm sure it's going to take a while.
Oh yeah.
You know what that means? Everyone roll initiative.
That's right. That's right.
I will, since we do have 15 minutes, I was going to say while Toddle was here, but I can say it now. Toddle also has a dream. And it is going to be a flashback of when Toddle first adopted Lander. And you are going to see a scene where they're hunting for food as they're kind of traversing the forest. And they have a meal and they're starting to like, skin. It's like a big boar, and they start to skin it. And Lander's sitting there bleeding it. And Lander asks Toddle, "Is the world always going to be like this? Like, is there an end? Like, what else is there other than this? Other than death? Like, in order for us to survive, we have to kill this boar. Like, why did I have to do this? Why can't there be other ways to sustain my own life? I don't understand why the world has to be this way." Like that teen angst,
The ennui.
Oh, yeah. And Toddle just kind of offers words of wisdom and says, it's a balance of things. That death isn't always a bad thing. And Toddle says to Lander that everyone has gone their whole lives freaking out about death, and I think that's why gods are important to some people, because it gives them some sort of hope for the end of all things. But the truth is, we neglect what we have in life, and that's the one commonality we all share together, is that we eventually die. It's just part of it. Like, what would you be without it? How would you live your life? And Lander kind of like sits and looks at the boar and continues skinning it. And then Toddle will probably wake up, because Toddle doesn't need a lot of rest. And we'll probably just sit between Avran and Calamity and just watches over the both of you.
Cool.
Yeah. Something like that.
Nice. Well, friends, I think that's it. I was looking for someone.
Perfect. We've left time for my 15-minute description of what happens between the three of us. Oh, no, I'm kidding. Yeah.
Join our Patreon and then
Name the two sexiest farm animals. Brown chicken, brown cow.
Actually, and I'm kind of happy that you said that. When I logged on to
Of course you're happy I said that.
When I logged on to Twitch today to set up for stream, it told me that they're changing their data
rules
storage thing. So now people are only allowed to have 100 hours of highlighted videos. And right now we're at 173 hours. So I have to start deleting some highlights.
Oh.
So I have been thinking that I'm probably going any extra backlog highlights I'm probably gonna put on the Patreon, so they can still have somewhere to live, and our Patreons can still view those highlights. So I'm probably gonna start moving those over later this week. So yeah, check out our Patreon if you like. If you wanna
be a patron,
keep tabs on our videos that Twitch can't hold anymore. So yeah.
Sounds good.
I found someone to raid. Team, I need you to decide on a raiding message, please.
Calamity's checklist.
Where's Bobby?
Really?
Where's Bobby?
Really?
brown chicken, brown cow.
Someone had to ask the questions, people. Someone had to ask.
Well, it's that you always feel that you are the one.
Well, it is what it is. Let's see. let me close all.
Yay. Already on it. Love it.
Calamity's checklist. There it is.
All right, everyone, be sure to copy Snyder's rating message, as we are about to go to the Vactar.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Tomorrow is going to be a very fun game.
Tomorrow.
I mean, next week. I've got a Tailspire map for it and everything, bitches.
Yes!
Awesome.
Tomorrow I'll be streaming. if anybody wants to come by for the happy hour.
There you
Yeah,
go.
join Eric for
Alright.
the stream. Join. And I have no job, so I'll probably be there. And
Yay!
and thank you for my existential chat in the last ending dreamscape portion of the thread. But yeah, love you all, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye,
guys.
Calamity checklist.
Bye.
Bye.